Bell against the Celtics last night in their final game heading into the All-Star break. Next, we just wait for Wemby and Steph Castle to do their thing this weekend while the rest of the team gets a break. The Texans are hiring former Raiders and Panthers assistant and former Texas Longhorn defensive lineman Frank Oakland to be their new assistant defensive line coach.
If you smoke, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial. If you happen to be locked in at sasportstar.com, listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio vault, or you can watch on YouTube. We stream all of our shows live via YouTube. Just search SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead and like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show, or feel free to call in at any point, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you are always welcome into it. I know there is a ton to get into today. Nick Caley spoke, D'Amico Ryans on Bobby Slowitt's exit. We're going to get into that. Micah kind of throwing down the gauntlet a little bit towards Jerry about them being active in free agency for a change, which would be very, very nice. And of course, Breggy no longer an Astro. We'll get into all of that, but I want to react to that Spurs loss last night, which you could say it was closer than the score indicated, blah, 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 or the score made it say. That game wasn't close. I never felt like the Spurs were in striking distance enough to finish off any time they may have cut the deficit a little bit. And that's the infuriating thing about the San Antonio Spurs right now and how they go about their business. And I hear Mitch Johnson just continue to spew what I can only equate as to sewage right now and what's wrong, what they're doing to fix or not fix it. I don't know. Very ambiguous. Much like his answer when asked earlier this year, actually, it was sometime in January, is this a playoff team? And he was like, I don't know. We're always trying to take steps in the right direction, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a simple question. Yes, we feel like we're ready to compete for the playoffs. We're tired of losing. Like, it's a very simple answer that you gave no hope to the fans with how you answered that by him and hawing your way through it. And it's just more of the same. And I'm getting more and more frustrated because it's more of the same with Mitch Johnson. And it's more of the same with Devin Vassell. And it's more of the same with these players. And that was the whole point for bringing in Chris Paul and these veterans, was to break the bad habits of the more of the same. And we're not getting that. And earlier this morning on the Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob, they were talking about Mitch Johnson and his post-game comments in their loss to Boston.
I guess we'll play the post game sound, and then I want to get to the sound that about like what is to come. So here's Mitch saying what he thought went wrong against Boston last night. And this clip is not nearly long enough. I can tell you now, it's 34 seconds.
I think our physicality or lack thereof to start the game and resistance was apparent, and they make shots regardless. So when you don't have that resistance and physicality, you can have a quarter like that against them. And then on the other end, same thing. We just didn't get any pressure on the rim, no paint touches, didn't set good screen angles, didn't roll. didn't try to get to the paint for a teammate. A lot of things that we preached, and a lot of things that when we've had rough patches, they've been a common theme. So we need to
Common theme,
improve in some of those areas. So we try to mitigate some of that.
Dude, let me tell you something. I don't know why I'm not the GM of the Spurs. We lack physicality. Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Good eye, coach. Good eye.
Your big man weighs like $140. Like,
I'm glad you noticed. I thought it was just me. Okay.
yeah,
Anything
that's
else
why
you
I was
noticed
saying,
went
like,
wrong?
hey, find someone who can do big man things, bully things. Like
Yeah.
when all of your guys are light in the pants, it's not a surprise that you're getting pushed around.
And that's not Mitch's fault.
No, but it's like, you don't have to tell me that.
Well,
like,
that's
oh,
it.
we
Like,
got
good
out
eye.
physicaled.
Yep. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
You're exactly. And the resistance you spoke of, you're right. There was none of that either. There was none of. You're right. No resistance. And that's right. Our defense, we weren't on a string. We didn't help each other. No, we didn't do that either. You're right. Keep going. You named all the problems. I'm glad you noticed them.
Well, he didn't mention that we suck at shooting and we shoot a lot.
Well, shooting comes and goes. It does.
When's it coming, Rob?
Well, there's that. And some of that is scheme. Some of that is, youth. But
some of it is having good shooters.
If you're a coach and you get hung up on made shots and missed shots, you're going to die an early death. You really will. That is literally the one thing the best coaches have come to realize after a period of time. 50% is really good.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you live and die by the shot made or miss, now you can live and die by selection. And that's equally as galling last night. So if you're going to be mad, don't get mad at the missed shots. Be mad at the shots that they decided to take. And you should be even madder at that because young teams get lulled into doing the things that are the worst for them. And the Celtics lure great teams into jacking up too many threes.
Okay.
We're already bad at it. So stop it.
I get what you're saying, but also like when I was coaching baseball and this wasn't the way that I like to coach, but imagine I'm a coach who believes in small ball. I believe in bunting and stealing bases. And then I look over at my team and I see a bunch of big fat kids.
Right. And you're like, well, I got to adapt my scheme.
You would think like it, but the Spurs look over and they see a bunch of guys who can't shoot and go, you know what? We're going to shoot.
We're going to shoot.
Like I'm going to bunt with that fat kid. And then I'm going to have him steal if he does happen. It's like, it's crazy.
But the variation is 4 shots fall last night. Suddenly they're up in the realm where you go, okay, you can justify 33%. So, I'm never going to quibble about missing shots. My life's too short. I'll bench you. I'll cut you for the shot selection. I will never bench you. Now I might bench you for taking too many in a row or something like that. But literally, I can't. I can only coach you to get to the water. I can't make you drink. The drinking stuff is the hours that we spend in the gym in the summers and all that other kind of stuff. These are pros. Hit your shots. Hit your shots. You're a pro.
But isn't it at some point Mitch's job to say,
stop shooting from there. Stop shooting from there. Or realize good to better, better to best. Yeah, you got the shot. And most of the times I'd be happy. Maybe you look over to your right. Look, maybe we run a play or do something to kind of shake the apple cart, which is the sign of a young team being coached by a committee. The decisions take too long to be made. Timeouts seem to take too long to be taken. Substitution seems to take an extra couple of seconds apart from the standard 2, 8, and 10-minute subs, which are coming like clockwork, whether needed or not. So it's just all these things that go, well, what are we doing here? Why are we trying? Because I got the sense last week that we kind of fast forwarded to things, that we brought in a guy who I just noticed was capable of getting 30 anytime he wants, not even knowing the play. So I do know we're capable of going and doing some things differently, but we're not acting like we're doing anything differently. This is the same team that lost by 25 a month ago.
Yeah, it's the same team that lost by 25 a month ago, which is what's so frustrating about this is you got 2 guys that can go out and get you 30 on any given night, and the rest of the team gets in the way more than it helps. And you have a coach whose lineups are infuriating. Look, I don't care if Chris Paul starts. Devin Vassell should not start then. Stephon Castle should be playing alongside Wemby as much as Wemby is on the court. Like, he needs more minutes. He is obviously the third best player on this team, and it's not even close. And defensively, this team is just better with both of them. And I will say this too, because Goldfinger123 on our YouTube live feed, and I'm just getting so flustered by it. I'm a Rockets fan. I appreciate the Spurs. I cover the Spurs. I think what they did for 2+ decades was just basketball genius at its finest, along with finding ways to prolong players' careers. Like, all of that was wonderful. I am so frustrated at what I am watching on a night in and night out basis from a team that knew how to win and doesn't seem to know anymore. Whether it's lineups, whether it's shot selection, whether it is the absolute utter refusal to punish or show any type of consequence for players making the same mistakes over and over and over again. At this point, let Brett Brown take over. I've seen enough from Mitch Johnson. Like, I need something there. I need to shake the apple cart in some way, shape, or form. I need Devin to go to the bench. If you want to shoot shots and mess up the flow, then, be the instant offense off the bench. Because the offense seems to flow better because it's not being forced through anyone. It just flows a lot prettier, which is also why I think you should go and trade for a Kevin Durant this offseason. Somebody who doesn't need the offense to flow through him, just knows how to organically incorporate his way into an offense that lets it flow so evenly. And he would be a great complement to a Victor Wembanyama, a Stephon Castle, and a De'Aaron Fox as they continue to grow together. And you turn, because Goldfinger123 says on our YouTube live feed, the championship window will be next season. Besides a lineup change, there's nothing more they can do. If they don't do anything this offseason, they're running it back with the same team minus a draft pick. It's not going to be better next year either. Like, they're making the same mistakes. They are not growing. They are not learning. They are not doing anything, and they haven't for 5 to 6 years now. Keldon and Devin aren't kids anymore. They're on second contracts, and big ones, $20 and $30 million a year. Which is why I think you need more. You need better. And Kevin Durant, while old, at 36 years old, you can line up a 2 to 3 year window with him to compete immediately. And then by the time his contract comes off the books, well, it's time to pay Wemby. It's time to pay Stephon. And then, work from there as his contracts come off the books. And now De'Aaron, Wemby, and Castle can run you into the future. But I don't know about y'all, Spurs fans, but I am frustrated, and I get more frustrated every game I watch because it's the same exact thing over and over and over again. And it is frustrating, it is off-putting, and I don't know what else to do. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Your phone calls coming up next. Plus, we'll take a look at what John McClain had to say about new Texans offensive coordinator Nick Caley, and, of course, Alex Bregman no longer being an Astro. That's all coming up right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolfpack.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. It really was fun to watch.
But it's funny hearing JD's comments.
At some point, somebody pointed at another player, and that's a penalty. He didn't flip him off. He didn't call his mother a name.
He knocked him 6 feet down the field and then pointed at him. That's taunting.
Football is gay.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count, because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team: Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-334-2266. That's 800-334-2266. 800-334-2266.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your nature-made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
Hola, mi esposo se lastimó en un accidente ayer. ¿Me puede ayudar?
Claro que sí. Estamos aquí para servirle.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7. Our team of Texas attorneys has been helping people injured in car, truck, or 18-wheeler wrecks for more than 25 years. And there's no fee unless we win. Y hablamos español. If you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free Fix Finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in zone.
This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
Get in zone.
But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Woo! Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. I said your phone call is coming up, and I meant it. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I feel like I am irrationally upset as a non-Spurs fan, and I kind of want to know what the tenor of Spurs fan is right now. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Wesley dialed him in. Wesley, welcome into Extra Innings with Pledge, my man.
Yeah, thanks, Pledge, for having me. I appreciate you taking my call. You know, I'm as ardent a fan as there is, and I take a historical perspective. I think about myself as being analytical. And one of the things that I look at when I think about the Spurs is the team had never gone through this phase that we saw the Lakers go through when Kareem and Magic had dissipated. And also,
Spurs
the
have
same
never
thing
had
with
back-to-back seasons missing the playoffs.
no. Same thing with Bird and McHale. Everybody goes through this. I think the problem is, and we were talking off air about this, is the Spurs' way of not skipping steps is not to take steps in order to ensure that it's not seen as a failure. Because we have all these draft picks, and because we might have a Rookie of the Year this year, that it's good enough to say, look, our record has one more win right now than what we ended with the last 2 years. So to be real and to be fair, I'm of the opinion that you don't learn anything by kicking a can down the road. And my question really does become, how are you going to keep Wembanyama engaged with all of these young picks, specifically when down the road now De'Aaron Fox has a limited window? He doesn't get people to play with. So that's my question, Pledge. You're on the money. What are we going to do to get this core that you now have that you don't know what to do with, because you don't want to play a big outside of Wembanyama?
Hey,
I don't know what to say.
I thought they signed Bismack Biyombo. Has anybody seen him?
Yeah, he's on the bench, seemingly getting a good.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he might still be on his couch somewhere. They just signed him to a 10-day. I didn't know they actually invited him to come travel with them. I hadn't seen hide nor hair of him.
Well, look, I'm surly about this too. You know, I'm the first person to say this. Everybody wants to give Brian Wright a free pass and say, well, look, see, he made the De'Aaron Fox deal and we didn't lose this year's potential 2 lotteries and yada, yada, yada. Okay, look, there are some good things there. But I'm also going to say this. You drafted Josh Primo. You drafted Jeremy Sohan. You could have had Alperen Şengün. You missed and didn't get Tyrese Maxey when he was available.
Yep.
And let's back up to Keldon Johnson's draft. You remember that Keldon Johnson guy that
I believe that was RC, if I remember correctly. But still, yes, you took Luka Samanic first.
Instead of who? Do you remember who the last pick of that first round was?
In 2018? Oh, good Lord.
I'll
19?
tell you who it was. It was Desmond Bane.
Oh, that's right.
You could have had Keldon Johnson and Desmond Bane. Now, everybody and their mom's going to say yes, but you wouldn't have Wembanyama.
You also could have had Brandon Clark and Keldon Johnson.
Amen to that. So I think that's my point as a passionate Spurs fan is like, listen, there are some good moves that have been made here, but you're starting to piece together a jigsaw puzzle that has about 20 pieces missing. So what are you going to do to make that puzzle make sense? Because after a while, that's not going to fit, and it's not going to work to have those holes in it. So thanks again for having me call on. And, you know, I'm not ticked off. I just want to see this thing go somewhere more than just like, hey, let's tread water.
Yeah, I feel you, Wesley. I appreciate the phone call, my man. Look, I have been beside myself with looking at, De'Aaron Fox was a great move. Yes, you kept a ton of assets, but there is getting players and there's getting the right players. And not all things are equal. And we still don't know what Jeremy Sohan's position is last year. He was a point guard last year. This year he's a center. What is he really? He's a sixth man. That's what he is. So let him be that. Move him to the bench and let him be that part of that unit. To me, Devin Vassell does not fit well offensively with the starting unit. It's just, it doesn't flow right. It looks awkward. The shots don't come in a natural rhythm in any sort of way, which is what you need when you're playing with the Fox and a Wemby. And Castle does play well off of them. I think a Kevin Durant would be a great addition to play off of them, because while he's a superstar that commands attention and can shoot the lights out and score at all 3 levels, you also don't need to force the ball into him the way you do a Victor Wembanyama or, Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox, who literally handles the ball and attacks and distributes that way, whether it's scoring or kicking it. Durant just seamlessly works into an offense. Look what he did up in Golden State. I mean, look what he's doing in Phoenix even. You never feel like Kevin Durant doesn't mesh into an offense or that it's ever forced or anything else. And being an older guy, not only by going and getting a Kevin Durant, do you turn yourself into a absolute contender immediately with a guy who can pair well with a Castle and Durant and Harrison Barnes and Wemby and Fox in a starting lineup. It also gives you the opportunity to clear the books when Wemby and Fox and Castle all need to get paid. So where you've got money coming off the books to bring it back on when it's due time. And it just makes sense from a basketball perspective. Look, as Phoenix is showing you, not all great players play well, mesh well, cohere well together. Like just throwing 3 stars at a problem is not how you fix it. Those have to be great basketball fits. And right now, I feel like the best basketball move for the San Antonio Spurs is, at least in the near and immediate future, Stephon Castle in your starting lineup. You can continue to start Chris Paul, move Devin Vassell to the bench. It will provide that second unit the offensive punch that it needs, while also expanding Steph Castle's role, both not only offensively, but more importantly, defensively, which is where you're getting eviscerated a lot of the times when you're giving up massive leads. There is a great defensive efficiency when you see Wemby and Castle on the floor together at the same time. It is hard to deny what their defensive efficiency looks like when those two share the court, and how different it is when they're not on the court together or at all. So if you're going to make up for it, have the best defensive lineups in the game when they need to be, but also give yourself an ability to score points outside of those guys. And I think Devin Vassell, who can be a microwave, who can initiate an offense and be your primary scoring threat, have him be that coming off the bench. Have him be that guy that can help that second unit that needs and lacks a scoring puncher when you have Jeremy Sohan on it and Keldon Johnson. Bull in a China shop. Cool. Jeremy Sohan, not really offensively inclined. More of a trash rebound, put back, easy dunks under the bucket, like those kind of things. Like that's kind of his game. I like to call him garbage men. Devin Vassell at least gives you a little bit extra that is needed during those times. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. The Houston Texans announced their new offensive coordinator and why they may have said goodbye to their old one. We'll discuss that and hear from the General John McClain about the hire coming up next here on Extra Innings with Pledge. Plus, Breggy no longer an Astro. Does that mean that Houston's title window has closed? We'll discuss as we continue here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Friday on the Morning Huddle. It's a big weekend. Lots of college basketball. Join us early.
USA. Team USA in action as well last night. We'll talk about that and what's the big matchup with Canada this weekend. It's the Morning Huddle. Starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
America's Diamond has never sold lab-grown diamonds, and we warned our clients, friends, and neighbors that wholesale prices would crash to almost nothing. 2-carat GVS2 lab-grown diamonds are currently being traded at wholesale for $264, but some jewelers are still selling them online for $3,000 to $4,000. Repeat, wholesale $264, retail $3,000 to $4,000. Some retailers are selling 1-carat lab-grown diamonds for under $300, and others are giving them away for free with purchase. Lab-grown diamonds are very easy to detect with gemological equipment. Tens of millions of carrots are produced in huge factories in China and India, using a tremendous amount of subsidized electricity supplied by coal-burning power plants. America's Diamond has only offered traditional, real, natural earth-grown diamonds that are rare, extremely beautiful, and have had real value for centuries. See our television program tonight on ABC KSAT 12 at 12:35 a.m. or right now at americasdiamond.com.
Wow! Most cars and pickup trucks can have a ceramic film installed by the experts at Mother's Window Tint starting at just $199. That's an incredible price. If you shop around, you'll find that competitors charge hundreds of dollars more. Plus, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Mother's Window Tint offers up to 60 different film options to fit all price ranges. Since 1984, Mother's Window Tint has been known as the home of the tint and alarm special. If you're looking to enhance your vehicle security to the highest level, visit Mother's Window Tint today, where security systems start at just $3.99. Call us at 210-496-3454. That's 210-496-3454. Or visit us online at motherswindowtint.com. And remember, do it at Mothers and save!
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Hi, Jason Minix here from 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start your free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-247-1146. 800-247-1146. Again, that's 800-247-1146.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Please, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be
reeling in the refund.
Limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings. A pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I appreciate all y'all for rolling through tonight. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram, all that good stuff, at SA Sports Star, or at I Am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. As a matter of fact, I have an Instagram video out right now that you can check out, where I talk about basically what I just talked about. Is it time for Devin Vassell to go to the bench? Okay, so King's asking if I think Sohan can fit the role like Malik Rose did. Yeah, I think he can fit a similar type role. I don't think that's out of the question or the possibility for him. I look at him in kind of a Draymond type role, just less of one. more so than anything. Fred Villarreal saying Vassell's had ample time to show what he can do as a star. Dumb to seem to be a fit. Ball seems to stop, bad passes, just offense gets clunky when he's in, also not known for his defense. Exactly. So why not make that, bring Castle in? Castle plays well in terms of just finding a way to flow within the rest of the offense. Like, it doesn't need to go through him for him to be effective offensively. And I think that's opposite for Devin Vassell, which is why I don't think he fits in the starting lineup as well as does Stephon Castle, at least basketball wise. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Earlier today, we got to hear from D'Amico Ryans as the Houston Texans had a press conference to introduce their new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley. And it is a very impressive hire from what I heard from today's press conference. But more so than that, I also was very intrigued as to find out why they were moving on from Bobby Slowick in the first place. And D'Amico Ryans talked exactly about that.
Yeah, it was very hard to let Bobby go. Bobby's a really close friend, as you all know. Bobby's a great friend of mine. When I got into coaching, Bobby was the guy who helped me figure it all out. And we were QCs together there in San Fran. So really long relationship there with him. Nothing but love and admiration for Bobby and what he's done. I know he'll be a really good coach in this league as he continues to press forward in his career, and I wish him nothing but the best.
QC's quality control coaches when they started off in San Francisco. And that might have been part of the problem with Bobby Slowick, I think, is, Bobby Slowick was a defensive side of the ball analyst, an offensive side of the ball analyst. He never coached positions. He never was a coordinator before this. He was a passing game specialist, but never worked as a position coach at any point in his coaching career. And it actually took some time off in between working in Washington and working in San Francisco to work for Pro Football Focus. So never having that actual position coach experience, I think, may have been a detriment. But why was going the route of passing game coordinator and tight ends coach Nick Caley the right move for D'Amico Ryans?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of great people throughout this process, and it was clear as I kept going through it, talking to people and going through my process, it was very clear that Nick was the right guy for our team. Just with his energy, right, his leadership ability. I think with him being able to understand the run game, pass game, with him being in multiple schemes that were successful, understanding how to tailor the offense to the players that we have, that led me to Nick. And I feel really strong in my conviction that he can lead us and get us over the hump. Right? We've had a lot of good success these first 2 years, and the reason for doing it is I think there's another level that we can go to. And so I said earlier, it's my job to take this organization to new heights, and I think hiring Nick will help us to get there.
And Nick Caley is one of the hottest coordinators that was out there. He was actually interviewed for the Texans offensive coordinator job when they gave it to Bobby Slowick. He was at that point in time the tight ends coach in New England. He was offered the tight ends coach job, or he was offered the offensive coordinator position under Jared Mayo in New England after he left to coach with tight ends with Sean McVay in Los Angeles, and turned it down. And they offered him $3 million to come take that offensive coordinator position. And so turning that down is massive in terms of the amount of money you're being offered, first and foremost. But then he also said no to the Jaguars this coaching cycle, the Jets this coaching cycle. He's had his opportunities to take a job, so he was obviously looking for the right situation. And he knows Nick Caserio from their time together mutually in New England when he was a tight ends coach there. And that was something that I really thought when he was talking, he talked about being a tight ends coach, knowing about the offensive line, all of them working together and the way that they're going to do things. And this was probably the most ear-perking thing that I heard of all of those things outside of working with Dante Scarnecchia for as long as he did as a tight ends coach and the importance of the offensive line. He talked about what the scheme's going to look like because he's obviously got ties to McVay. He's got ties to New England. He's a multiple type guy in terms of what he's studied and had tutelage under. And so is he going to go zone scheme like it's been? Is he going to go like McVay? Is he going to go more power run, gap scheme stuff that he saw in New England? And he talked about working with CJ Stroud and what that possible scheme could look like for them.
Really looking forward to working obviously with CJ. Tremendous talent, competitor. You talk about an ultimate competitor, tough, instinctive, can make plays. So I'm very excited. And as a first time coordinator, to answer your second part of the question, really excited to get an opportunity to evolve this scheme and put, it's not going to be my spin. It's going to be what's best for our players. And it's always going to be what's best for our players. No, we're not pounding a square peg into a round hole. It's going to be based on the strengths of our quarterback, the players, and the guys on this team. So that's what it'll always be, designed around.
Oh, thank God. You know what that tells me? That we're not running a zone scheme because that's what my scheme is. If our players are better at gap schemes, we're going to run that. If they're better at outside zone, we're going to run that. If my tight end, Dalton Schultz, isn't a great blocker, I'm not going to single him up on the best opposing pass rusher multiple times throughout a playoff game. I'm going to do what suits my players, not try and squeeze my players into my scheme. And that's refreshing to hear. So that is already check one for Nick Caley winning the press conference for me. He also talked about learning under two great minds, one offensive and one defensive, in Bill Belichick and Sean McVay.
Starting off, everything I'm going to, preach and we're going to preach here is going to be rooted in fundamentals. I think you look at every good play, it has good fundamentals. So we're going to start from the ground up, building fundamentals and getting repetitions and time on task with that. The things that I can take, had the opportunity to obviously come most recently with Sean in LA, have a tremendous amount of respect for him, learned a ton of football, from him, as well as obviously Coach Belichick with my time in New England, invaluable experiences for me. And they're both rooted very similarly, maybe different personalities and different ways of doing things at times, but it's fundamentals. It's not beating yourself. It's playing clean. It's controlling the line of scrimmage. That's the run game. That's pass protections, et cetera. And it's being a cohesive unit that takes care of the football. So, those are going to be the things that transcend any kind of scheme, any specific play. We're going to be fundamentally based and rooted in that.
I really like what I heard from Nick Caley. Super impressive, super excited, had a great tenor and tone about him, unlike Bobby Slowick press conferences, which were very kind of monotonous and monotone and more analytically driven, it felt like at times. And that might have been part of the disconnect between the play to the coaching to the field, and the disconnect in the blocking as well is not having those relationships with position coaches to coach what you're trying to get across. And that might have been part of the reason for Bobby Slowick's exit. John McClain, the general from HoustonTexans.com, at that press conference today, talked about Nick Caley and what he means for the Houston Texans moving forward.
John, I got to ask you, as we switch gears to the Houston Texans, to introduce Nick Caley. He did what he was supposed to do today, in my opinion. He won the press conference, did a good job there. Your initial thoughts on him, and how do you think he's going to do?
He's a really good talker, very energetic, very passionate. Thank goodness he's got a lot of Sean McVay in him and no Bill Belichick in him. He worked for Belichick, I think, 7 years, 5 with Nick Caserio, and he worked with McVay for 2. And so I got to talk to him a little bit after, liked him a lot. And you're right, he won the press conference. Everybody was impressed with everything he said, but saying and doing, we're not going to know till they start playing in September. But they took a long time to do it. and they talked to a lot of candidates. D'Amico Ryan said we talked to some college candidates. Well, that'd be Chip Kelly, who ended up going to the Raiders. And so he's very highly regarded. I have a couple of friends that worked for the Rams for a long time, and I called them and talked to them about it. And they liked him a lot. Said he was going somewhere as a coordinator, just when and where. He turned down a chance to interview with the Jets, but he's got some talent to work with. He believes in balance. You know, they had a good running game this year. Problem is their pass protection. And D'Amico didn't make any bones about it. Nobody did. They got to fix their problems in the interior pass protection.
Definitely need to do that. And so, I mean, you get the coaching staff together. Obviously, some excitement about what Nick Caley can do. And according to D'Amico today, put him over the hump, put you guys over the hump. But as the offseason begins, I mean, Nick Caserio's got to do his part too. Combine in a couple of weeks. What are the areas that you think Nick Caserio needs to focus on as he gets ready for his trip to Indy?
He doesn't have a lot of money available under the cap like he did last year, and he spent a lot. He can do things contractually with players to free up money. He's got to talk about extensions with a guy like Derek Stingley Jr. It could be a $30 million a year cornerback. I think they'll want some veterans. It depends on who they lose. They don't have a lot of guys that are good that they're going to lose. 2 or 3 guys in the defensive line. I think they ought to sign a couple of them. But their main need, they better get a veteran interior lineman and a draft choice in the first or second round. They're going to need a receiver. They got to decide who they want to bring back. Stephon Diggs. I also think there's no need to draft a receiver in the first round. I keep seeing these mock drafts that having them doing that. Excuse me, Nico Collins was 3rd. Tank Dell was 3rd. Stephon Diggs was 5th. You don't need to spend on a wide receiver in the first round, especially when you have a weakness like the Texans have in the offensive line.
All right, John, you're the perfect guy to ask, and I want to do this. I'm switching gears to the Dallas Cowboys. I hope you don't mind, but there have been rumors and even reports that there have been some discussions about the Cowboys trading or looking to trade Micah Parsons. First of all, what do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I don't think for a second they're trading Micah Parsons. Jerry doesn't get rid of his superstars. He takes forever to pay them. Then he overpays them, as we all know. And I'd like to see them get it done so they could focus on other things like a running back. You know, good for them. This is a talented and deep draft for running backs. And boy, Jerry screwed that up last year. Hopefully he'll get it taken care of this year. And I'm really excited to see what they do. And I feel bad for Brian Schottenheimer. Guys wanted to be a head coach for so long, and now he's got his chance to be a head coach for the first time. And maybe he'll turn out to be really good, even though people are not impressed. But they got a lot to do, and they're not trading Micah Parsons. There's just no way they're going to do that. That's not how they operate.
Certainly isn't. But then again, I also thought Alex Bregman was going to end up back in Houston. Instead, Boston. What's the reaction in Houston about Breggy Bombs in Beantown?
Oh, I knew Bregman was gone. That was all generated by his agent, Scott Boras, to try to act like the Astros were back in it. So it might get Boston, Toronto, Chicago, and Detroit to offer more. Maybe the Red Sox up their offer. That's why they did it when they did, right when they were reporting to spring training, $40 million a year, 3 years, an opt-out after each year. I saw a great stat based on the ballparks. Bregman has 210 homers. If he played every game at Minute Maid Park, he would have 239. If he'd played every game at Fenway, he'd have 190. And the reason is he doesn't have a high launch angle. He hits line drive homers into the Crawford boxes in Houston. So that means he's going to hit a lot of balls off the green monster. But I'm sad he's gone. I hate it. The Astros are not as good without Bregman, Tucker, and Ryan Presley. I don't know who they're going to be fooling. Fortunately, the division doesn't appear to be really strong with a runaway favorite.
That was John McClain on a host of topics. Christopher Silva talking about the Houston Texans, saying offensive line is a must. Sure, maybe it is. Do you throw everything you've invested out without giving the new coach a chance to work with this offensive line to see if potentially how he would use them would be better than the way Bobby Sloak did? And also, just to follow up on that, do you trust this organization to evaluate offensive linemen? I mean, look at the capital they've invested. They traded for and extended Shaq Mason before he played a snap. They extended Titus Howard. They drafted Juice Scruggs. They drafted Kendrick Green, Kenyon Green. Like they've invested first and second round picks and lots of money into this offensive line. And the only one that's truly great at their job is a guy that jumps off sides a lot in Laramie Tunsil, who they gave up 2 first-round picks for back when Bill O'Brien was still running the show. So there's a lot that you have to think about with offensive line. Maybe give this coaching staff a chance to work with them to see if you truly need to invest there with everything you've already invested. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Speaking of Alex Bregman, are the Astros now cooked? Is the window closed? We'll discuss as we get ready to hit the road here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Try Round Table Pizza's new pepperoni, grilled chicken, and bacon pizza. And don't forget to pair it with our irresistible shareables, mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, or golden potato wedges. The perfect bite to complement your meal. Find the nearest location or order delivery at roundtablepizza.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo. Guys, if you're not feeling like yourself anymore, testosterone therapy may be the answer. Look for the VIP treatment like you'll get with the TRT experts at Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Synergenics has over a decade of TRT experience. Book your appointment at synergenicshealth.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and switch to the expensive shampoo with amino acids. Sure, you don't know what those are or why you need them, but it sounds very impressive. And if you switch and save hundreds, you can massage it into your scalp every day. Now, if only you can get people to lean toward your head to smell those aminos. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shampoo. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively the Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Jackson Hewitt makes taxes feel like a yacht rock song.
Breeze, give me my biggest tax refund, please. You, me, and a lifetime accuracy guarantee.
And now get $100 just to try Jackson Hewitt. Does your tax person do that?
Say goodbye to that no guarantee tax guy.
Ready to sail through tax season? Go to Jackson Hewitt and you'll be limited time offer for new clients. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life.
I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all for riding along with me today. Like I said, lots we got into today. One of the last things we're getting into are the Astros cooked. Are they done as the time passed? And I look at it in a different way. I kind of like what Jim Crane is doing. I kind of enjoy the fact that he is not overpaying for players that are entering the twilights of their career. He is not giving 10-year contracts where the back end of that's just going to be bloated, lost money that you've thrown away. Look at every deal that Jim Crane has done. Dallas Keuchel, couple years removed from a Cy Young. Let him go. Never the same. 5.7 ERA the rest of the way after he let him walk in free agency. After that, it was George Springer, the face, the guy that was on the cover of the Astros will be the World Series champs. And remember the Sports Illustrated cover that predicted the World Series for him? Yeah, George Springer was the face of that. Let him walk to Toronto. We have not heard from George Springer since. Who else have they let go? Carlos Correa, the number 1 overall pick of that entire rebuild, gone. Went to Minnesota. Has not been the same guy. You can argue the one person that's kind of hurt is Garrett Cole, but even he's not pitching the same way he was in New York, despite winning a Cy Young, that he was when he left Houston in the first place. So everybody that they have moved on from, the contracts they got versus the production in return has not been worth it. And for Villarreal, Astros are counting on a lot of new players to be productive. Absolutely. But Isaac Paredes, he is a productive player that you can count on. Christian Walker has been the best defensive first baseman by a wide margin in Major League Baseball over the last 5 years. And Minute Maid Park's going to suit his game much better than did Arizona. And that's going to lead to an increased offensive production from him as well. And they were quick to move on from the sole mistake they made, which was Jose Abreu. Ryan Presley, since coming out of the closer's role, has not been the same. You were able to move on from that contract and get that money clearer to be able to do other things. Now, they still need an outfielder. Seeing Jose Altuve play the outfield, don't know what it's going to look like yet. And Cam Smith, top prospect in their system now. I think good things are coming for the Houston Astros. I don't think the door is closed. The division isn't a monster that you're competing against. And I still believe the team, as constructed, can win 98 to 100 games, 95 to 100 games and win the AL West still and give you a chance to compete once again to be in an ALCS or a World Series. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star 941 FM, sasportstar.com. Tomorrow morning, AJ and Rob get you going 6 to 10. Then, of course, the Blitz with Jason and Joe 2 to 6. And then right here, we'll finish off your week on Extra Innings. Make sure to call those that you love. Let them know that you're thinking about them. You never know what people are going through in life, and you never know how much just checking in on somebody can do for them. This has been Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate